everybody. Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. I'm very excited. Arsenio Hall. Exactly. I would have, but I had the coffee in my hand. I don't want to spill anything. Obviously, and our dear friend Tim Meadows, too. Hold on one second. Well, folks, if you check the paper, you know that people don't read papers anymore. It's mostly the web. But if you look at the web, you'll see that the pandemic continues to rage on. We've now been in lockdown for over 11 months, and if you're beginning to get the crazy feeling that isolation is starting to drive you crazy, you're not crazy. You are crazy. Because according to CNN, pandemic paranoia is a real thing. Or is it? Who paid you to say that, CNN? How would you know I'm paranoid? Are you watching me? There's a camera right there. And there. Who put this mic on me? Me? I must be in on it. Scene. Evidently, the paranoia is being brought on by the pandemic, required social isolation, and an uncertain economic environment where people worry about whether they might be on the verge of losing their livelihood. That's not paranoia. That's just normal human fear. If you cry at a birthday party when the clown comes out, that's a phobia. If you're one of the kids in it, it's reasonable to avoid the sewer system. Of course, disinformation feeds into paranoia, and that's what led to the Capitol insurrection. Well, yesterday, the Senate held hearings into what caused it, but here's the thing. Two of the questioners up on the dais there were senators who supported challenging the certification of the electoral votes on January 6th that led to the riot. Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz. That's like having a cannibalism trial presided over by Judge Hannibal Lecter. Would the prosecution please slather themselves in honey mustard and approach the bench? The session was mostly ass covering, but we did learn one interesting fact. An FBI alert about a possible war against Congress reached the D.C. and Capitol Police the night before the attack. So it looks pretty damning that the police were warned and did nothing. But not that simple, according to acting D.C. police chief and cop who doesn't realize his partner walked away 10 minutes ago, Robert Conti. Chief Conti told Congress that there was a perfectly good reason his department ignored the FBI's warning.
We're talking about a report that came from the Norfolk office on the day before, that night, it's around after 7 o'clock p.m., that was sent to email boxes. I would certainly think that something as violent as an insurrection in the Capitol would warrant, a phone call or something.
He's got a point. There's a reason why no one says, I think I'm having a heart attack. Quick, email an ambulance. Now, one guy who actually has a really good reason to be paranoid is the former president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, seen here suddenly realizing he gave the prostitute his real name. Rudy is facing a $1.3 billion lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems for spreading the lie that they stole the 2020 election. And while publicly he's been talking tough, privately he's running like a frightened toddler, because part of a civil lawsuit is being given a subpoena by a process server, and it turns out Giuliani spent a week doing everything he could to avoid being served the lawsuit. Look, I get it. If a guy walked up to me and said, "Are you Rudy Giuliani?" I wouldn't want to admit it either. Rudy's service-dodging tactics were pretty creative. He reportedly ignored requests to simply accept it via email and had his doorman lock the door to the building whenever the former mayor entered the lobby, which is the first time anyone has locked a door to keep Rudy in. Although, maybe not the last. But things really came to a head on February 7th when a pair of process servers and Giuliani got into an awkward standoff during a nasty winter storm. How nasty was the standoff? Well, the details are... Giuliani left his building and got in a Ford Explorer SUV and closed the SUV door as a process server lunged forward with a bag full of documents, which meant the lawsuit was lodged between the SUV door, at which point the doorman got involved, jabbing his umbrella into the SUV door, and the driver and doorman then pulled the bag of legal documents out, allowing Giuliani to close the SUV door and drive away. What a dramatic escape! And you can watch it all play out in Dick Wolf's new show, Law & Order SUV. Dum dum. I had not heard that before. That certainly sounds stupid. Bravo. When it comes to reducing the country's paranoia, you know who's not helping? NASA. Because we just found out that their Mars rover's giant parachute carried a secret message. No surprise, American space explorers have always loved hidden messages. We all remember Neil Armstrong's famous first words on the moon.
That's one small step for man. I am the Eggman. I am the walrus. Cuckoo Kachoo, Paul is dead.
So, let's take a look at the actual secret message inside the rover's parachute and, yes, a code that I totally get. Sure. But just in case any dummies at home didn't get that as quickly as I definitely did, they also provided this key that reveals the phrase, dare mighty things. Look, NASA, congratulations on the landing. We're all really impressed. It's beautiful. And the parachute, kind of a cool game. But you're not helping. We're already chock full of government conspiracy theorists down here on Earth. It might as well have just said, this is where we hid the votes. And they're not done. NASA officials say we can expect to see more hidden messages. Wow. Well, that seems pretty suspicious. You know what? QAnon folks are definitely going to want to investigate this. So we should probably help load them onto rockets and shoot them into space. Where they go one, they go all. Now, the pandemic may be ending sooner than we feared because we got another injection of positive vaccine news today. The FDA confirmed the Johnson & Johnson vaccine prevented all deaths and hospitalizations in trials. That's amazing. Soon we'll have as much choice in vaccine brands as we do flavors of Mountain Dew. You got the Pfizer? I got the Malibu Honey Melon Baja Booster. The FDA could approve the new vaccine as soon as Saturday. And unlike the ones currently out there, Johnson & Johnson's is single shot, although the company itself still requires a double Johnson. Do not Google the phrase double Johnson. The J&J shot is a bit less effective than Pfizer and Moderna, but it could make the path to herd immunity much simpler because unlike the vaccines that have to be stored at around negative 80 degrees, this new one can be stored at normal refrigeration temperatures for at least 3 months. That's shelf life. It's the pickles of the vaccine world. Plus, a little vaccine on your tuna salad. 2 chef kisses in 1 monologue. There's exciting news in the world of mail delivery. Yeah, brace yourself. The U.S. Postal Service just unveiled their new fleet of delivery trucks, and the future is adorable. That thing's just a couple of eyeballs away from a Pixar movie. You really get the feeling that engine is going to sound like pakara, 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 pakara. But this truck isn't all looks. This baby comes with a ton of cool features like automatic front and rear braking, telematics compatibility, and even a 360-degree camera. That way, owners of the Oculus VR headset can jack right in and fully immerse themselves in the adrenaline-pumping rush of delivering a Valpak. But of course, there's a controversy. Many of the new trucks will be electric, but not all of them. And the precise mix has already elicited criticism from environmentalists. I understand their concern. I mean, you want the greenest vehicle possible when you're delivering thousands of pounds of Amazon rainforest that are now Amazon boxes. Now, if you're looking for more reasons to feel paranoid, remember, someone might be trying to kidnap you, and it might be you. Because a man in Arizona just faked his own kidnapping to get out of work. Did it work? Okay, we're still on the air. Okay, sorry. Here's the self-hostage taker, Brandon Souls, in his combination mugshot / missing person photo. Brandon, I salute you, sir. Sure, you could have just called in sick, but you faked your own abduction. That's a level of ingenuity and resourcefulness that I'm guessing you don't put in at work. This was no simple ruse. Police found Souls about 55 miles outside of Phoenix with his hands tied behind his back by a belt, a purple bandana stuffed in his mouth, and he was going in and out of consciousness. Again, you could have just told your boss you had a fever. How does this guy get off the phone with telemarketers? Well, I'd love to hear more about refinancing. Oh my God, the scorpions! The scorpions, they're dragging away my dog! Take me instead! Take me to your queen! do we have a minute? Can we put that photo back up, Jimmy? Can we put that photo back up? I want to point out that the police took this photo before they helped him. The police went, hold on, get my camera phone. I'm going to want to remember this. There was... How do you tie your own hands behind your back with a belt? The guy should be in Vegas. Sol's clever ruse started to come undone when he told the police that he had been kidnapped because his father had a large amount of money hidden throughout the desert. Just a slight exaggeration. His father didn't have a large amount of money hidden in the desert, but he did have an exceptional amount of knucklehead sun. After the police investigated, they arrested him on the charge of false reporting to law enforcement. Authorities were suspicious when they received the ransom note. I have me, and if you want me, pay me. Make the check out to me. To prove I mean business, I've enclosed my baby toe. P.S. Ouch! So what is this hellish job that Brandon went to such extreme measures to avoid? Well, apparently he works at a tire store, which explains his description of his kidnappers to the police sketch artist. I just have to wonder, how bad is it at that tire shop? Sure, I could get you a price on all-season radials, but to be honest, I'd rather drive out in the desert, stuff a gag in my mouth, bash my head on a rock, and just wait for the coyotes to close in. You gonna use that belt? But now that we know it was all an elaborate ruse, it could be the plot of the next Taken movie.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Dad, it's me. I just wanted the day off. Sorry. Okay, thanks, bye.
Thank you, Liam Neeson. It's a nice guy to do that bit for us. So nice. Amazing guy. Go see The Marksman in theaters now. We got a great show for you tonight. Arsenio Hall is here. But when we come back, I celebrate Black History Month with our old friend, Tim Meadows. Stick around.